In one word, yeah. Like I think they can absolutely end this thing on a good note.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean I'm thinking so too, because they've done it pretty well besides that third season, for a little bit. But okay, so one of the things that I learned is the Duffer brothers said they will be explaining the origins and more information about the Upside Down. So there's going to be a lot more in-depth explanation of how you can hang a bed sheet, or so maybe it'll help you out there, Shawn.
No predictions for Shawn, please. I fear the accuracy
and the nerdiness.
Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Shawn.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's just me commenting, guys. It's just me. I'm Trevor.
You're Trevor. I was gonna say, like, why is your head down half the fucking time? But no, I think that's gonna be cool. They'll be able to explain, how the Upside Down works, where it came from, what the whole thing is, because it's wildly different from when Vecna fell in there before. Like, if you notice, like everything was kind of yellow toned when he was banished to the Upside Down by 11. It was more yellow toned and kind of whatever, and then now it's like all blue toned. So I mean, even just that whole thing, it was interesting to me. Just something I kind of noticed. So
yeah, I didn't catch that. That's something I would want to like look more into for sure, because like that's interesting.
Like when she banished him, like, and he's like falling and everything, the lightning and everything is like eating away his fucking skin and all that. Like,
yeah,
everything in there was like the dark, blacks and grays, and then yellow, the sky and everything was yellow. But then, in everything else of the Upside Down, everything is blue toned and like this like blue atmosphere. So I don't know. That could be nothing, but maybe there was something that was done in that process.
Nothing that should be overlooked in this show. You could be onto something.
I could be. Never know. So Trevor, watch out. I'm coming for those accurate predictions. So one of the so these are all predictions that I've kind of either run through from the internet that a lot of people have been saying, or intermixed with things that I kind of think. So one of them is that Will is the villain, and if Vecna's body was destroyed, at the end of season 4, with the Michael Myers fucking callback where they like throw him out of the building and then his body
gone. Right.
Then Will could take over Vecna's soul and his essence, because he's connected to the Upside Down. He's connected to Vecna. So that is something that could be relevant. I mean, I don't think they would go that way, but I think Will's going to have some sort of something to do with Vecna, and because he's so fucking connected to him. He's got the little spidey sense. Vecna is 11's father is another theory. Could be like a Luke, Vader Luke kind of thing.
I think you're stretching.
Again, these are just theories that I've found from the internet. I'm not saying that I'm putting my weight.
You're not going to put your stamp of approval on that theory.
I mean, it could happen, and I could see how it would be. Because I mean, the dad is never really talked about in the show.
Yeah, but it's not immaculate conception, and he's also not like a demon spawn either.
No, I'm not talking about Vecna. I'm talking about 11 being Vecna's child. Because
maybe I could see something like that. Okay, I thought you were talking about Will. I thought you were talking about Will for some reason.
No, I think we know 11's one of Nick Cannon's kids.
My bad.
It's just Shaq's kids. But no, I think there could be something to that, and it would make it kind of interesting. I could see that. Also, something that I heard, there might be a Steve and Dustin spinoff, which would be fucking hilarious. Because
I like Eddie and Dustin better myself, but if it has to be Steve and Dustin, that's cool.
Yeah,
Steve and Dustin has like that, like kind of like big brother, little brother type vibe to the whole thing. So like I could see that, but I don't like it either. Just my personal preference. Just like honestly, I'm just saying that like I think
every group
that
needs a Debbie Downer. So,
and listen, you want me to be honest? I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say that like, I think that has no legs to stand on for like a spinoff.
okay, I think it would be hilarious. So another one is
you hate my fucking personal opinion. I take it. It's all right.
Yeah, triggered. I think Eddie. There's a theory that Eddie could still be alive in the Upside Down as Cass, who's Vecna's vampire lieutenant. In the D&D lore, and also it's mentioned in the beginning of season 4 during the D&D campaign with Eddie and the Hellfire Club. In the D&D lore, Cass betrays and kills Vecna. So, and he's like the vampire lieutenant, like I was saying. So there's more to it than just hoping the metalhead returns, because when they're playing D&D with the Hellfire Club and all that, Mike says or when he says Vecna lives or whatever, and then Mike says no, he was killed by Cass. It's like a quick like one line, but that could be kind of cool because he was also bitten by bats. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like there's it could be there, and then Eddie is still there in the story, and it could be a way of I don't know. Like it, I think that there's a good chance that could fucking happen. The Thessal Hydra might be a big bad, not the big bad, because obviously Vecna is still, going to come back in some way. But I think the Thessal Hydra could be a big bad in season 5. Nancy said that she saw a huge monster in her vision from Vecna, and also Will's drawing to Mike had a huge multi-headed beast with the 4 kids fighting it. So that could be a piece of it. I think that there's some weight to that one. There's also a weird theory that Will created Hawkins, Indiana in the Upside Down as a way to cope with being lost there. Also goes back to me saying that everything was like a yellow tone, and then now there's like this blue tone. So maybe Will, and especially because he's artsy and draws things and he's creative in that way. So maybe with Will, wanting to feel like he's home in this foreign place, he could have created that, and it kind of latched on to the Upside Down. Kind of interesting there. There's actually something
better
that I'm gonna get to in a second that's kind of like that. Also, there's one that is quite interesting and I think pretty far off, but it still makes me wonder of why they did this in the promo art. But it said that Karen Wheeler, so Nancy's mom, the cheating, almost cheating wife,
with Millie,
with Billy is Alice Creel, so the daughter of Victor Creel. Or wait,
okay.
Yeah, Victor of Henry.
Yeah, so because there was no funeral, there was like there wasn't anything, and Henry went into a coma, right? So like, how do we know that Alice Creel actually died? So the reason why a lot of people are saying this is in the promo for season 4. What they did with all the main characters is they like put their head at the bottom, and then behind them in the art they had the number 1 related building or scene or something like that set up drawn behind them. And Karen Wheeler's promo had Victor Creel's house behind her. So it's kind of interesting. Why would they do that? She has nothing to do with that fucking house. Like, I think that's kind of cool and interesting. There's a kind of a thread there, I guess. And timeline wise, it checks out, being that Henry Creel's sister was born in the 1940s. So she's about in her 40s, the 80s. I mean, it could be a possibility. I think that they're maybe they go for the Lost ending. Yeah, dude, I could never finish fucking Lost, dude. I watched it. I watched it like 2 or 3 times, and every time I get like to the last season, and I'm just like, this fucking show sucks, dude. Like, it was amazing at first. Can't.
All right, so like, I know it's a tangent, but it's like 3 seasons, really good. 4th season, meh. 5th season, I don't really care for this. the 6th season, at that point, you're like invested, and like you actually get a little weepy and a little sad when you find out they're all been dead the whole time.
Oh, thanks. Ruined it.
You're welcome. I ruined it for everybody.
Might try.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, so another one is that Callie will return and have a big role in defeating Vecna. Like Patrick said, like my little brother said on there, that Callie's gonna come back and there's gonna be, you know, something to do in season 5. I could see that. I mean, I hope not, because her character was fucking annoying. I mean, her powers were kind of cool, but she was annoying. And okay, also that it's all a game and it's just a D&D campaign, and then it's gonna end with all them back as being kids sitting around.
What a fucking cop-out that would be.
I know.
That would be the worst fucking ending ever. Where I would be like, you know what? Burn this fucking city to the ground, everybody.
Yeah, you want to top Dexter as the worst series ending ever?
This is where you call for violence.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be riots in the fucking streets.
Not a stranger danger in the streets, man. After this,
3 dead, 11 wounded.
Another one of them, which I'm fucking hoping so much that it isn't, is that it's time travel, and that's the whole, you know,
all the Back to the Future references and stuff.
Yeah, but also having the clocks involved and the fact that the date is frozen in the Upside Down at November 6th, 1983. So there are things laid out to where that could be the ending. I fucking hope not, because that is the biggest cop out of so many fucking shows where they just time travel. You know what I mean? Like, this is the way we do it. Like, no. So I'm hoping not. It just was a theory that's out there, that I found.
All right, so you're both witnesses right now. If that is the fucking ending, and I'm watching the show and I have a drink in hand, I'm throwing my fucking drink at the goddamn TV. Like, I'm gonna have to get a new fucking TV, because like this is where I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
If they do that, I am gonna bust out like the fist in the air and the car.
Maybe they go Seinfeld and get arrested.
Yeah, in the middle of the D&D game, like everyone's just like, there's like a big there's a swatting, and they all just kind of like break in, like, all right, all of you with us, and then it's like they're all just like sitting in there in front of the Jan 6 like committee, and like, well, I don't know, guys, we were just playing D&D. We were just playing D&D. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so one thing that I do want to ask you guys is okay, what's going to happen with Max? Because Henry or Vecna said that all of his victims are with him here in his mind when he's talking to 11.
She's going to put out for Lucas. She's going to put out for Lucas.
They're all still here in my mind. And do you think that she could be trapped in his consciousness? I didn't hear what you were saying because I was still in the middle of asking the question. So what?
Oh, no, it's okay. I was saying she's going to put out for Lucas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably. But then Billy would come back and be like, how dare you?
Not a black kid.
But yeah, I that could be some sort of something, because I mean 11, which is random that 11 can bring people back from the fucking dead, which I didn't know that was one of her fucking powers, which is pretty cool, I guess. But like, do you think that that's where Max is? She just can't get out of it?
I don't know. To me, it's like when I think about it, it's like no one knew that Neo could fucking like bring people back in the Matrix. He just reaches in and goes dun 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 with someone's heart, and then he's like, oh, get up and walk it off. You know, just kind of like told him to just get back to it. You know, and that was the end of that. So like, I don't know. Like I think it's all in the fictional world. Like again, like we're talking about. Like, but again, when I bring up the fictional world, there's physics involved.
Oh
and
my God! Shut the fuck up!
Let me save everybody here. I think the way that she wakes up is they find out that she's a big Wham fan, and she's a bigger Wham fan than Kate Bush. And they play like, yeah. Wake me up before you go, and then that wakes her up.
Someone just comes in, orange mocha frappuccinos.
story time for my girls.
Later, Trevor. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. No, I mean, I honestly think it would, my personal thing is I think it would be cool if Eddie came back and was Cass, the vampire lieutenant. I think that would be cool. It would obviously bring Eddie back because he's a beloved character, in the fandom and whatever. So I think that would be cool. It would be cool to see him as this like evilish kind of character for like the first half of the season, but then back, like in the background, he's really just trying to figure out a way to fucking betray Vecna. I think that would be pretty fucking cool. Having the Thessal Hydra, I think that would be an awesome, another big bad to the Mind Flayer and to, I think that would be cool because of the tie-in with the art from Will and because the Thessal Hydra was mentioned in fucking season 1, which I think that would be cool. The Karen Wheeler as Alice Creel, that is a kind of cool thread. Like, I think there's something to that would be really interesting.
It's almost getting too soap opera-like, though, with that, because they already did the Henry is the orderly who's Vecna, and then if they do that with the mother being his sister, then it almost seems like a season of Dallas or Dynasty or some 80s soap opera, which I guess would make sense because it's an 80s show. Yeah. But I think it kind of takes away some of the luster of that whole Henry is Vecna is, if you just do it again with another character there. It's totally possible, but I think it would take away something for me personally in the show. I just think like it lacks the originality because they've already done it with Henry. Yeah, true. I could see that too. I think it would be cool if they have Will be some part of the villain, especially because he's being he's very outcast from his friends now, and like there's that disconnect between from him and Will and 11 and like all them, and then in season 3 when they were trying to play D&D, or he was trying to play D&D and Lucas and Mike were not having it. They were just like, shut the fuck up, right. Like whatever. And then and then they could have the whole I mean it's annoying, the whole wokeness of being gay and whatever, because the actor who actually we all know it, but the actor that plays Will actually said, yes, Will is gay in the show. So he's gay for Mike. So, and we all kind of figured that. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, a lot of crying.
Yeah, exactly. And that haircut, dude, he already looks like a dick.
But I mean, it would look like it would tie it up because it seems like the show started with Will, right? Will got possessed. And then he disappeared, and then that's like the jumping off point for the show. So then, just kind of tie a bow on the show. Then, it would make sense to have Will be a big part of the ending of the show. And plus, like you said, his character has nothing to do right now other than blubber and hand like artwork to Mike and whatnot.
And then get goosebumps and be like, I can feel he's here.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's like the ripples in the cup of water in Jurassic Park. And, they're coming. Ooh, yeah.
Exactly.
My gator's going off.
Oh, hey!
The monster's coming. My gator's going off. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that would be kind of cool. I don't know. There's a couple cool things. I mean, the Vecna being 11's father, I think that's a stretch. I think it is a stretch. But the reason why I'm thinking that there could be something there is because the father is like 11's father isn't really ever mentioned or like talked about, and 11's mom was a part of the MK Ultra testing and the LSD and all that stuff, and maybe at that point Henry Creel had already been a part of the lab with Brenner and all that, and then instead of Brenner saying, because if you remember, Brenner was saying that he wanted to duplicate Henry Creel, he wanted to have more children like that, so maybe a way for that to happen is maybe Brenner's like, hey, go fuck this chick and then try and make a descendant of you.
Yeah, that was literally what I was about to say. It was like, so you're saying that you think that like one was like assigned to go and fuck a bunch of different women, and therefore he kind of like became this jaded personality of like, I have these abilities, they are utilizing me and like abusing like what I have to the point where like they are creating these other people and this and that. So that's where he got his whole jaded personality from. Essentially, he was taken advantage of.
He was also kind of already jaded because if you remember going into the backstory, he already couldn't stand people. He thought people were horrible and just generally. And so he already had that jaded kind of feeling. And then Brenner pushing him into try and procreate and make more of himself could give him even that more of the push off the fucking cliff to become Vecna.
Yeah, no, I could agree with that, and like, there's some like interesting things brought up with that for sure. Where like, I could totally see some like elements of that being played out in like the 5th season for sure, because like it's gonna be interesting for sure to see how Vecna became like from where he was human being torn apart in the Upside Down to where he basically like reassembled himself or maybe made a deal with like the Mind Flayer, whatever it is that's in the Upside Down, and reassembled himself as this like meat like person, because like as you can tell, he wouldn't have assumed he looked like that when he wanted to be recreated. He was like that's just what he looks like now, with like tentacle fucking things on his like neck and shit like that. So like this is something where it's like, all right, he was created that way, and this is just what he has to accept with it in the Upside Down. So like that's something where like, all right, there's going to be some kind of compromise that goes along with all of this as well, because like, if Freddy Krueger, we're gonna go back to Freddy Krueger with all this whole thing. Like, if he had his way, maybe he wouldn't have been all fucking burnt up. But the fact is that like he was burnt in like the boiler room, and he had no say in like what happened to him in the afterlife. And now he's fucking just like this like burnt up looking guy with a sweater, a fedora, and a fucking like
blade fingers.
Blade fingers, which he used for fucking trimming shrubs of all things. Like
Freddy Scissorhands, yes.
Yeah, because like honestly, like did you guys saw the remake? I'm sure, right?
I didn't.
No, I don't think I did.
I'm not big into horror remakes.
It was like 2010 or something like that when they did like a Nightmare on Elm Street or something like that. And like
Jackie Earle Haley played him, right?
Yeah, it was the guy from Watchmen who played Rorschach. Yeah. So like when he played Freddy Krueger, like they did this whole kind of like they actually like, instead of just telling you the story, they actually went back and they showed you what happened, where like, the parents like burned like, the school down, and they burned him alive in the school and stuff like that. And like, but like he would like cut the shrubs with his fingers like this, like who does that? Like nobody good actually does that.
Daddy, 99.
Good night. I love you. Mwah.
A little wholesomeness.
Yes, a little bit of wholesomeness at the end of the show.
A guest star.
Good night.
Good night.
No,
My mom's going to read me a story.
Okay.
Stranger Things?
Chapter 7, Vecna.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good.
Someone said that it was kind of funny that Vecna had 3 names. It was Vecna, Henry, and then 1. So it's VH1.
I like the behind the music look there. Nice, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That was pretty good.
She was telling me she was getting a story read to her. I was like, all right, you guys are going on about Vecna and this shit. I'm like, I don't know what's going on over here. But
don't worry, we're having side conversations. It's nothing about sheets and going through holes, okay? So don't worry. God. You don't need to put your
thank goodness.
You don't need your input on that.
Oh, you don't want my input? I'll just sit back. It's all right. Good. Thank you.
Sweet.
No more story time.
So I think I think what you were talking about with change, like changing his his body and his looks and all that. With that, I think there is something that could be said about that too, because when he goes into the Upside Down, before he's like fully Vecna, he's like kind of half fucking human, half whatever. At that point, because he's talking about how the mind flayer was just particles. It was just a big cloud. And then he used his powers to form it into this spider thing, which I thought was kind of cool because he likes the Black Widows, he likes spiders and whatever. And so he turned it, that was his personification of, of what he wanted or whatever. So maybe that will be brought up and kind of fleshed out, talking about how maybe in order to turn the mind flayer into this form or whatever, then it fully reverted him or fully changed him into Vecna. It like pulled away his whole human form, his powers, and all that stuff. I mean, that could be kind of cool. I don't know.
I think so. That's great.
Yeah. I want to find out like how long. I want to find out how long the Upside Down has been here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How did you say?
You.
Heartfelt.
You say how long the Upside Down has been there?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that I hope that's one thing that they wrap up in season 5 is like how long it's been there, like the origination of it. Now they possibly could just leave it up in the air and just let you use your imagination as far as how the Upside Down ended up there. But yeah, I think it would be cool just to find out like how it was created. How did it did a comet land on Earth or something like that way back in the centuries ago?
Yeah,
and it kicked off some chain reaction around the world. And how far does the Upside Down go? I mean, does it go past Hawkins? I mean, is it
true?
Is there a Upside Down in Istanbul? I mean, is it that far away?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Imagine like the African safari and there's like crazy fucking like upside down lions and shit.
Fucking
I don't know. I have some thoughts that like, all right, so like Hawkins Upside Down is 1983, but like honestly, I can't really imagine it going before that or anything. So like before that, it could have just been like a cloud of nothing, and like it was literally just developed into Hawkins 1983 because that's what one knew. Like for I don't remember what the character's name was, but like it was like one that's what he was aware of and that's what he knew, so he just kind of like developed it into like that year. But I'm wondering how he knew every little fucking detail of of 1983. For example, like when it came to Nancy's journal, like where it's like it only goes to this date. Like, well, that can't be because I bought my gun in this date. And so obviously she's like, a Republican voter and stuff like that. But like,
did you guys notice how it was Reagan Bush? It was like there were Reagan Bush signs in like throughout everyone thing, but the only one that had the Mondale sign was Dustin's mom.
Yeah.
So the single mom with a cat. I thought that was great, and I'm sorry, I can't stand cats. So when fucking Dart was eating the cat, I was like,
when the Democrats, you're about to say Democrats,
yeah,
so sure. Demagogues.
No, the Demodogs.
The Demodog. Also, are Demodogs like a Demodogs a form of Demodongs, a form of like Democrats?
How do they procreate?
Gotta be the parody, Stranger Dings or something.
They grow Demodongs, and they penetrate Demovaginas.
Vecna vaginas. Demodogs and the Vecna vaginas.
Vecna vaginas.
I mean, they can't be more ridiculous than duck vaginas, okay?
Or this conversation
about this, but ducks are fucking weird.
Well, I mean, like, only going off of what I know from Louis C.K., who apparently did more research than I did. It was like they fuck, they shit, and they piss out of the same hole.
They got one hole. Okay, so just a little piece of info that I found out about that because I did like look into it. I was like, that's fucking weird. And so I looked into it, and and because my parents, they have a pool out in their backyard and they have ducks and like my mom was like, it's so horrible. The male ducks, they just like rape the woman duck. And I'm like, Mom, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so like, just to like have more information to kind of like fuck with them, because I'm a horrible person. I like fucking with my mother and like saying horrible things. So I looked into it, and ducks, like the male ducks, they just rape the female ducks. Like that's what they do. They just fucking hold them down and they rape them, right? So the female duck's vagina has evolved to have curves and like on the inside of it, so a duck penis can't just go like straight in. It's like in Japan they have those like things, the anti like rape things where it has like the fucking spikes or whatever. No, and so the duck penis has evolved to have curves in it, and curve like left to right.
Its way through there.
Yeah, like
It's got Pirelli's disease.
Dude, it's so weird. I looked at it like, oh my god, y'all are fucking crazy. Just a little information about ducks. I know that probably doesn't really. Yeah,
is that like that gelatinous creature in the abyss? It just like winds its way around into the crevices and shit, you know. Like, not gonna blue ball this bastard.
You at all, but I think were there any other theories that y'all had for that, or anything you guys wanted to say?
I just think like it would be cool to have Eddie back. You know, the main reason I want to have him back is because the good name of Eddie Munson is still being smeared there in Hawkins, right? I mean, they're putting up pictures of him with pentagrams on it. It's like, I think it would be an injustice, you know, to let Eddie's bad name just hang out there, you know, be besmirched. You know, his uncle's got to live with his nephew. You know,
it would be interesting.
Said some shit. I thought it was cool how Dustin was like, "Hey, he fought." Blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, well, he fought an earthquake? Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you do that?
It would be interesting to see how they try to spin it, for like how they try to like bring back like Steve's whole like good name. I'm not Steve, Eddie. Again getting them confused. Yes. My bad, dude. My bad. It's the bourbon. It's the bourbon speaking.
Glad I made it back just in time for duck penises. Which derivative theory is that one?
It's the one. It's the one where apparently Vecna's dick is the same like curvature of a duck penis.
They come in. It's like that's how the Duck Dynasty was created.
It goes. That's what it sounds like.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you made it back, Trevor.
How dare you?
I think that would be, what were you just fucking saying? Movies? I had something for that.
I was talking about Eddie, like getting his good name back. So,
not Steve.
Yeah, not Steve. Eddie. I get them confused all the fucking. I'm sorry. I get them confused all the time.
I think that it'll be interesting to see if they have any kind of battles with Vecna or anything like that in the actual world, not in the Upside Down or his consciousness. And now that the rift is open and like all that stuff, it'll be interesting to see if they actually do something with that and then make it kind of, because now obviously you can't not, you know, it being in Hawkins or, you know, being in the real world or whatever, you like this shit is all out in the open now. There's a big rift. There's all this fucking lava or whatever you want to call it. So it could be kind of cool and epic to see. And then if Eddie comes and does all that, then everyone can see that it's Eddie and that's his redemption to everyone, not just, you know, the characters that know about him and know what he did and his sacrifice and know that he didn't kill Chrissy and all that. Like, I think that would be kind of cool. And then everyone would be like, oh, okay, Eddie wasn't the, you know, piece of shit serial killer that everyone thinks he is, you know?
Yeah, I think there would be great redemption in there for sure if they actually pulled that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many places you could go with it.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to hear that Dustin's mom, the one Democrat, is the big bad. She's the evil one controlling it all, you know? So she's not just sitting in her house reading Reader's Digest, okay? She's the mastermind. She's the hellish mastermind behind the whole thing right there. That would just be just desserts, I'll say. That'd be justice. But, yeah.
Oh, rim shot!
You tell him, Tony. You know, and I think also, obviously, like now, Steve, not Eddie, is going to hook back up with Nancy.
Yes, please fucking do that. Like,
it's gonna happen. He's gonna throw it in there.
Yeah, I think Jonathan is like, Jonathan was cool because Steve was such a douche in the first season that I thought it was like, all right, cool. Jonathan is definitely, you know, better, you know, for Nancy because he's not a fucking douche. But then at the same time, going through the rest of everything, like, or the rest of the seasons. I'm like, yeah, no, Steve's awesome. Like, he needs to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to ship that for sure.
Yeah.
But also I heard that the reason why Jonathan's character didn't get as much screen time and play is because the actor who plays Jonathan got caught bringing coke on an airplane or something like that, and there was this big like legal battle for him.
At least he wasn't Brittany Griner and he didn't get thrown in jail.
No, hey, you know what? I would have been fine with it. Fuck it. But no, I think
just throwing that out there.
Broke out like Hopper. So
did I just break the fourth wall with that?
You were saying Fat Hopper and Skinny Hopper, and that was pretty cool. I did think it was kind of cool in season 4 when he's cutting the Demogorgon's head off, and he used like the Conan the Barbarian fucking sword. I thought that was
fucking awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Oh, yeah. That actually was an Easter egg. It was actually the same sword that was used in the movie for fucking Conan the Barbarian. It was like the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I thought that was fucking cool. Yeah. Oh, and what's his fucking face? The Russian dude, the one that Yuri. Oh my god! Like, he was funny for like 5 seconds, and then I just wanted to fucking murder him the whole time.
The pilot.
Yeah. Fucking, oh my god! Everything he said, I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Go die in a fucking bus fire, please. Like. But I think ending on Yuri dying in a bus fire, I think that's a good spot to end it.
Yeah, we did a great job tonight, guys. Proud of you.
Except for the crazy cat lady, cotton candy, whatever. We're boring, evidently.
Come on, man.
She can go.
Who cares? Who cares?
I thought it was funny.
She was like the expert on all things Stranger Things. Apparently, she had an issue with it.
So is that our second hater? All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment below. I know it won't be on the live chat, but at least we'll be able to respond after the fact. And make sure you go to solo.to/thewhiskeycapitalist for all the links and all the ways to get a hold of us. And then go to bit.ly/thewhiskeycapitalist merch for our fully stacked merch store and our new Whiskey Capitalist Stranger Things inspired merch. Also, make sure you go to solo.to/tildeathstudios for any digital media and artwork and anything. If you like the little intros and the little, season promo stuff that I did, then at least leave a comment, something like that would be nice.
Yeah, I gotta say, Ian absolutely did a fantastic job when it came to all this stuff. Like, especially for like when it came to the Whiskey Capitalist, and like just not only the intro and like the background and the logo and stuff, but he also did all the stuff for like the Stranger Things, like little intros as well. So like he's got a great eye for this stuff. This is the link you want to go to. Yeah, and Ian's killing it.
Thank you for the season 3 commies go cry to your mommies. That was fucking great. I had to use that, dude.
Oh yeah, just came to me, man. Just came to me. I was inspired by your inspiration. Yes,
you're a savant.
It's kind of derivative, but
yeah. Go to solo.to/Til Death Podcast for the podcast that I do with my wife that kind of started this whole network, the Til Death Podcast network. And we are actually I'm being sick for like a week. That's why we had to postpone this. There's an episode that I'm putting out from Til Death Podcast that talks a little bit more about the Stranger Things stuff, just the two of us talking about it. So that's kind of fun. Make sure you check out @MoviesMerica on Twitter and www.moviesmerica.com. And then Shawn can give you some info about his other show that he does as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this right now because the Whiskey, I was going to say the Whiskey Capitalist. Sipping with Shawn is actually going to be joining Til Death Studios when it comes to the Til Death Podcast Network. We're going to be doing a live stream evening like once a week where I'm going to be doing my own solo show and whatnot. And that you can also go and subscribe over here at patreon.com/Sippin with Shawn, where you can get all the other exclusive content, as well as I have some free content as on there as well. So by all means, go and check that out. And I will be weekly on the network probably in the next month or so. I would say once we work all the kinks out and we get all the other details done, like it's going to be
doing logos and doing intros and all that stuff for it. So
yeah, we're gonna get it up and running, and it's gonna be live feeds on the same channel you're currently on, and yeah, you can't beat it. That's like gulping with Shawn. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of Shawn.
Okay, I do want to. I do want to say thank you, Trevor, for being the comedic relief along with us on this show and all the other ones you've been a part of, man. Like, do really appreciate it, and appreciate you picking up a shirt. Make sure you send us a picture, DM us a picture of you in the shirt or the shirt or whatnot, and we'll throw it up on the Twitter. We'll throw it up on the live stream. Unless you don't want that, just let us know.
No, just send it to me. I'll crop your head out, or I'll put like a clown face over top of your face.
You're gonna
whatever you want, buddy.
Dude, come on, man. Like you can't cut his head off. We already have enough hate having to do with that. All right.
I wasn't gonna cut his head
about
off.
it afterwards.
Yeah, we're gonna giggle about it. We're gonna giggle about it after we cut his head off. Apparently.
Meth, go figure.
Whoa.
Hey, all right, cool. Well, I gotta get out of here. I appreciate y'all, and movies. We'll catch you after the stream is over here in a second. I kind of actually wanted to talk to you about something.
All right, yeah. Am I in trouble?
Yes,
yes. Yeah, you shouldn't have said the things you said.
Yeah,
you're in a lot of trouble.
If you had too many glasses points.
It came out of my pie hole out loud. Damn
For 2 weeks, you're mine.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and do all that shit. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.